Inhale to lift the right leg nice and high, and then exhale, bend it. And we're going to come through into evil pigeon. So coming onto the right knee and bring the right shin in line with the front of the mat. Dorsiflex your right foot just for extra protection of the knee. And we'll take the right hand to either the lower right thigh or just to the knee itself, and the left hand to the right heel. We're going to straighten the back leg. So we're a little higher up, and drop the shoulder blades down the back as you lift the chest. So it's a very much kind of related posture to upward facing dog in terms of the upper body here. So making sure, as with any back bend, that we don't lose our core strength there. Use everything at your disposal to strengthen the whole pose. So our connection to the ground, engaging also the glutes, the bum muscles, the abdominals, obviously, which we're working on, and of course the leg muscles themselves. Placing the hands back down, and we'll just step straight back into Padmasana and hold there. Now engaging bum, belly, quads, strong plank pose. Squeeze the shoulder blades down the back. Breathe into the side ribs. And then we'll shift straight back into downward facing dog, and take an inhale, lift the left leg nice and high, exhale, bend it. Bringing the left leg now into kind of a half a square. So the thigh and the shin being two sides of that square. And once you get that 90-degree angle, if it feels comfortable, then taking your left hand either to the lower left thigh or the knee itself, and then taking the right hand to the left heel. And then we straighten the right leg. Squeeze the shoulder blades down, lift the chest as you would do in Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Strong into the legs. So this is very much a kind of strength-based practice today. But of course, we're working into mobility as well. So finding as much extension as you can while still drawing from that yin energy of grounding, rooting, protection. Hands flatten, and we step back to Padmasana again, plank pose. And then shifting back into downward facing dog, and we'll hold there for 5 breaths. From there, jumping the feet forwards, but we're going to land hip distance apart, so feet just behind the wrists. And we'll come into Parangustasana from there. So taking hold of your big toes with your middle and index fingers, like we did for Ubaye at the start, and then take an inhale to half lift, flatten the back, and exhale to fold in. Pushing the big toes into the fingers, pulling the fingers into the big toes, and let your elbows bend out to the sides. Now getting as much kind of awareness into how the feet are behaving as possible. So spread the toes and see if you can get the weight forwards into the toes more. The heels are still grounded, but the toes and therefore the index and middle fingers will take a lot of weight. Thus, kind of facilitating more of a pelvic tilt, we're able to get the tailbone higher, effectively creating an inversion with the upper body. Strong through the belly. Oftentimes in forward bends, we forget about the belly strength, but we want to stay connected through that core all the time. And keep that connection. Inhale to take a half lift, and exhale, we go straight into Hastasana. Once the palms are under the soles, you will see that the internal rotation creates a different angle for the elbows. That's okay. If you've got the mobility to fold forwards, do so now. And as your elbows bend, they'll sort of do a combination of forwards and sides. So it'd be different to just straight out to the sides like Padmasana. That said, however, make sure that the collarbones are broad. The heads of the humeri are also moving away from each other. So we're not compressing the front body as we stretch the back body. Again, let the weight predominantly go into the toes. It's a little bit scary in this one because there's not any kind of get out clause. So just make sure you're in control there as you fold forwards. And then slowly take the fingertips to the floor just to allow a sort of a semi-uttanasana to happen. And then just heel and toe the feet in towards each other, keeping the back flat. You're up on your fingertips. Legs are nice and straight. And then come up onto the tippy toes. So just depending on your body, your proportions, your ability, there's no right or wrong for any of us. It's just what suits our bodies. So you might have to move the hands forwards or back, just whatever's comfortable. Substantial amount of weight now down through the finger and thumb tips and obviously through the tippy toes. Let your gaze be forwards along the ground. Stay strong in your belly. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other or together and start to prepare for lifting the fingertips off the floor while staying on your tippy toes. Then slowly let the hands come off the floor. You can come up with a slightly rounded back. Stay in your tippy toe position. Once you're in an upright position, reach the arms up to Urdhva Namaskar, but let the drishti stay forwards. Squeeze the heels together. Stay strong in the belly. Technically, Urdhva Namaskar is a back bend because we're extending the thorax. So be aware of the possibility that you might have forgotten your belly muscles. Keep them engaged. Keep the arms up, keep the heels up, and bend the knees. We come back down to the earth, but stay in our tippy toes position. Contain yourself into strength there. Try not to let the front ribs release forwards too much. Cross the thumbs if you wish to give you a little bit more purchase to stretch the shoulders and draw the arms back behind the ears. Shift forwards with the chest, let your heels come down. Open the chest even more, Utkatasana. Let the drishti come up. Strong through the belly. Shift into the heels a bit more so the toes lift. Hold your balance. Open the chest a little more. Exhale, folding forwards into Uttanasana. Half lift Chaturanga. Inhale to Urdhva. Exhale to Adho. Now treating Adho a bit more like a back bend. So having opened the thorax quite extensively there, without any warning, then continue that. Even though we're in downward dog, we can still have that lovely extension there through the thoracic spine. Jumping forwards this time with the feet landing together. Walking the fingertips out in front like that semi or the Uttanasana, and then we lift onto the tippy toes again. Draw the shoulder blades back. Now this time we're going to come up again, but prepare this time to come up with a flat back. So it's a little bit more work. Try to flatten your back, stay in your tippy toes. This time, take the palms together into prayer position. Start to bend the knees, stay up in the tippy toes. And slowly with control, let your knees come down. Taking your right hand to the left heel and lifting the left arm up. Let the left palm face towards the right side of the room you're in and look to the palm. Maintaining strength through the belly. The breath has to go out, it's forced into the tube of toothpaste that is the rib cage. So let your breath go into those side ribs. Keep the belly squished in. Hands back to prayer position, inhale. Exhale, reach back for your right heel with the left hand and reach up for the ceiling with your right hand. High five the air to the left of your right palm with your right palm and look at the right palm. Releasing hands back to prayer position and then lifting the arms up to Urdhva Namaskar and let your thumbs cross to take the arms back behind the ears. Now we're not going to lean back too much. We're just going to focus on opening through the thoracic spine. So we're not going into full Ustrasana at all. Just find your length and match it with your strength. Exhale, take your palms to the ground and jump or step back to Chaturanga. Inhale to Urdhva. Exhale into Adho. And then from there, we're just going to jump forwards to sit cross-legged. And we'll take the right leg up into half Padmasana. So half lotus, wrapping the right arm around to take hold of your right big toe. And then lift the left arm up exactly as we did in that twisted version of Ustrasana. So again, there's a kind of sense of the back bend happening just from extension rather than from actually moving back. So we're creating space here and we're maintaining connection with our strength. Releasing down, we're not going to take a vinyasa or anything, just find the opposite side. So your left leg now coming up into half Padmasana, wrapping the left arm around to take hold of your big toe. And again, push the big toe into the middle and index fingers and vice versa. Sorry, forgot to mention it the other side. And then reaching the right arm up. And again, just using this right arm as a motivator for extension through the thoracic spine. Cervical spine gets into action here too as we look up, but just make sure it doesn't get compressed. And think more about the ripple of the back bend opening just through extension rather than by actually moving back. Good, and releasing there, just undo your half Padmasana.